Welcome to Bosstivity World Podcast, where Bosstivity is the activity of every boss in high pursuit. Today we have a remarkable young lady in here. I'm talking about she's an attorney, a broker, an entrepreneur, a public servant, a public figure, a mother, an educator, y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Miss Nicole Massiah.
Everybody.
Welcome.
Thank you so much. I feel so loved.
You are loved, Queen. You right here in Atlanta. We love you here.
Yes, thank you.
So recently, ma'am, I met you in a breakfast spot.
Yes, we were at Demetrius. Having some nice and grits,
right,
and some salmon patties,
right,
and enjoying ourselves, getting some grub on,
right,
before I came out here and knocked on some more doors and met this amazing man here. But make sure that he is in the community, right, and that you guys know what's going on, right? Good people only. That's what it's about. Good vibes. Good
absolutely,
people.
Absolutely. So I can say from the first day that I met you, I've been driving, I've been seeing your signs everywhere. I'm talking about it's like God opened my third eye up, say, this is the one right here. Interview her.
That's it. God speaks to us. God tells us what we need to do. All we need to do is listen. And so when he told me I needed to serve in this capacity, first I had to be like, God, are we serious? Are we playing these games? But you have to be obedient. If you want him to bless you, you have to be obedient to his word. I was obedient. I'm here to serve on a higher level, and I'm looking forward to doing more. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So everybody want to know,
right,
what do Nicole Messiah has to offer to the community once you get this position?
Yes. So Nicole Messiah understands how it is to first try to live, right, and then, first survive and then live. And so this has not been an easy stare by any stretch of the imagination. Had a kid at 16 years old, end up getting my GED, then having to put myself through school and get my associates, Georgia State University, my bachelor's, then law school, and in between, life be lifing, right?
Right.
So I understand what it looks like to actually start at one place, go to the other, and what we need in between to get us there so that we can make sure that we are living and living well.
Right. Recently, Michelle Obama came to the city. She just left Atlanta.
Yes.
How you feel about that?
I feel amazing. Like, she comes in, she invigorates, she gives me so much energy. She's the standard as to how to live and walk as a black woman.
Absolutely.
That is committed to doing what she needs to do and to holding her man down.
She's doing that, ain't it?
Right, she is.
Very well.
Right. Barack did well. He did well. Yes.
So, me personally, I'm seeing your credentials being exemplified in the neighborhood right now.
Yeah.
This public servant, this educator category. And I got these titles from you off of Google. Google acknowledged Miss Messiah as this person now.
He did his research.
I did my research.
You're fact checking. You made sure you fact checked.
Right.
Out.
So
okay.
Google even honored you, ma'am.
Yes.
This is crazy.
Yes, it is.
Ain't that something?
It is something. It's amazing. I would have never thought that I would be here. To be quite honest, I never thought I would actually be running for office and serving in this capacity.
Right.
But again, when he tells you what to do and how to do it, you just do it. You just give of yourself and make it happen. But I'm so blessed to be here. I know that this is for a purpose, his purpose. And every step of the way, I'm going to grow. I'm going to learn more. And I'm going to have so much more to be able to give back to us.
So to the younger generation.
Yes.
For those who have been seeing your signs on the side of the road, the young generation, what do you have to tell them?
What I have to tell them is don't you quit, right? Don't let anybody tell you what you can't do, right? Just make sure that where you're committed to doing something in particular, that you keep it going. Know your why, right? Because when it's difficult, good, bad, and indifferent, you got to know what you're doing and why you're doing it. And don't let nobody else tell you. Don't let them ear hustle you and tell you can't do it and why you shouldn't do it and why you need not to do it. You have to stay committed and focused to do what you need to do for you.
Right. So when it comes to the commissioner position, can you explain exactly what that position holds?
Absolutely. In layman's terms, we hold the purse strings. right? So we make sure that there are resources that are to be allocated amongst, well, for county commissioner, amongst the county residents. So we make sure that there are programs, for instance, for transportation and funding for transportation. Also, we work with affordable housing partners.
Right.
We help to determine whether or not developers have specific land use in our neighborhoods, right, and what that looks like. Also, we fund things like jails and the courts, right? So all of the services you see and that you need, sanitation, water, I mean, it just goes on and on. Infrastructure, the roads, it goes on and on and on in terms of what we are responsible for. And that's why it is a huge responsibility and obligation, but we make sure that it's funded and determine what happens when and how. So essentially, we are the legislative branch of the county government. So we got the executive branch, right, which is the president most people are familiar with, and then we understand the Senate, right, and the House. That's the legislative body for the nation, whereas the county commissioners are the legislative and governing body for county.
Got you. So when it comes to the police community,
Right,
does the
right.
does the commissioner get involved with the police community also?
So our involvement with the police community is really just the resources that they may need.
Got
right? We're not like managing them. However, we are responsible for ensuring that we have enough officers out there, and the funding is there in the budget so that we can get more officers where needed, that they have what's necessary to protect them while they're out here supposed to be protecting us. And when people are not utilizing those resources, whether it's the sheriff, whether it's a police, whether it's, the judicial circuit, they're not utilizing those resources to the best of their ability
Right.
on behalf of the constituents, we get to bring that back in and use it for other things, right? There's so much that needs to be done, especially here in my district, in my community,
Right.
So sometimes it's not pouring more resources into, policing, but pouring more resources into public service, public programs, right, to make sure that we are taken care of. And I think we need a lot more of that, more of a leg up versus a stronghold.
Right. So right now, America is in a challenge of its life. We have the first woman president running for the office.
We're going to knock it out, though. We're going to knock it out. Go
How
ahead.
do you feel about that, Queen? We got the first black woman president running for office. How do you feel about that?
I feel amazed. I feel proud. There's so many similarities between she and I. Such a time
I can
as
agree.
this. Yes, such a time as this, where I was supposed to be on the general primary ballot in May and didn't expect to be here during the general election November. And I me, Nicole Messiah, get to be on the same ballot as the first black woman president.
Wow.
As I am running
Wow.
to be the first black woman county commissioner. Yes.
Wow.
Yes, yay. So it's amazing.
That's
It's amazing.
That's
Yes,
amazing.
yes.
So when it comes to, have you been studying the policies Trump trying to put into place on America?
Yes.
When it comes to that, what's your
Yeah. So, in general, it is taking away folks' right to do what they need to do for themselves and their family. So how can you stand in anyone's shoes, or try to, right, when you don't relate to them, when you don't understand them, and tell them what they need to do, when and how, and try to dictate that, right?
Wow.
So my thoughts on him in general is he ain't qualified, but then again, he's like a lot of my opposition, the other candidates in this race.
Right. Because, man, I ain't going to lie. When I was looking at your flag, I seen people trying to block your posters and everything, Queen. They putting it in front of yours. I was like, who is this person?
Listen, you can't block God's blessings, though. You
Right.
cannot. Listen, when you are here to fight for folk, I don't care what you do. You can put a whole 18-wheeler in front of my sign, and the message still is going to get
It's going to
across.
rise, ain't
There
it?
you go. It's going to rise up. There you go.
So do you believe in